Hey, welcome to the Baco Motorsports Power Hour. I'm Mike Griffith, longtime Bakersfield, Californian motorsports rider in the Auto Club Famoso Raceway segment with Blake Bowser.
And I'm paying attention. We're just trying to find a picture here to discuss. I got to get my
you better put the earpiece in because Blake was down south last weekend. Were you checking out potential colleges?
We were looking how expensive they are down there. Yeah.
Yeah, Blake's got a daughter about ready to go to college, so he's going down there and he's getting sticker shock.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
So we'll save that.
So we'll get back to that. We're Blake's showing a picture. We've got a guest on the phone, Jesse Uwiji, who runs the Red List Group Series. How are you doing, Jesse?
Doing pretty good, and thanks so much for having me on the show today.
Thanks for calling in. Blake's showing me a photo, and he should have sent this in because he needs to take that up by the camera. This is a photo of you and your car at Auto Club Famoso Raceway, and it doesn't look very good.
This was when we first met you, Jesse. Remember that?
It was about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I had a pretty crazy wreck, but definitely happy I was able to walk away from that and learn a lot from it. I got a scar that's going to stay with me for life.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
We got a slide up with your name on it in front of a West car from a couple years ago, the yellow car, which you promoted the Red List Group on. Right a bit. Let's get a little background. First of all, Jesse, you're in the Navy, a lieutenant, or have you climbed the ranks?
Yeah. So I'm still a lieutenant in the Navy. I was active duty from 2010 through just May of this year, and then I just recently transitioned from active duty to the reserves. So now I'm working part-time in the Navy, and actually just recently picked up a normal day job now, working with Magnuson Superchargers as their director of marketing and sales.
Well, that's good.
Nice.
In the real work, and you went to the U.S. Naval Academy, played football there.
Yeah, so I went to the academy, played football 4 years, and had a good time. Got to play against some great teams, throughout that time, like Ohio State, Notre Dame, and so on. We beat Notre Dame twice, which was amazing.
Nice.
Beat Army and Air Force all 4 years, so that was really great.
And what position did you play?
I played safety.
So obviously, it's not easy to get into the Naval Academy, so as it takes some grades and a recommendation. Yeah. And so you did that. So you're a smart guy. So how did a smart guy get into racing?
Because I liked it. I always loved cars and racing and stuff like that. While I was at the academy during the off seasons and stuff during football, we're just working out and running all the time. So I needed something else that gave me an adrenaline rush to pay attention to, and that was racing. So I wasn't able to race in college, but when I graduated and finally had a little bit of money, I had bought a Dodge Challenger. I started doing some drag racing stuff with that. I bought a Corvette. Originally, the Corvette intention was to just do road course stuff, and somehow, some way, I decided to take it to a drag strip and destroy it. But then bought another one a few months later, and decided to only drag race or only road course with that. Had a good time, and then from there, I decided that I wanted to take it to the next level and do something a little bit more professional with the racing and start really going towards professionally racing. So I started racing late models at Irwindale Speedway in Southern California, and then moved up to the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West, where I'm racing now.
You've been doing the Pro Series West for a few years now, and then you started this Red List Group series. Talk about that, because you're doing this Saturday night. What was the idea behind it, and why the name? What's the name signify?
Yeah, so while I was sitting on deployment, my second deployment in 2014, I was in the Arabian Gulf, and, I was trying to figure out a way. I was like, man, I got to figure out a way to really get something going for myself where, I have my own business, my own company that I'm running, and what am I going to do to make that happen? And I started thinking about, my friend was putting on running events, and I was like, I can put on events too, because I helped a friend put on just a track day at Famoso, actually, back in 2013. And after helping them, I was like, you know what, I can actually do the same thing again, but on my own dime. And I think I can make it blow up a little bit bigger with some of my social media knowledge and marketing tactics that I think I can make happen. And I put it all together. The name came out of nowhere. I just saw an Instagram page called Blacklist. And I was like, well, I can't steal that name. But maybe if I go with, I want to make everyone like a star in the event. So I was like, what if it's like red carpet, so like Red List. So I was like, the Red List, and then the Red List group, I put the group on because eventually I'll have a bunch of people helping me
So you do that, and about Chris, go ahead and show a couple of these slides from a race out there last year. You put this on. About how many races a year do you do with the Red List group?
So when it first started in 2015, we just had 3 events. And then in 2016, we went to same 3 weekends, but we have another one called Truck War, which goes on too. And then this year, I started branching out a little bit more, and I put one on in Arizona at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. And next year, hopefully I can get something going on in the Midwest, because I think it'd be pretty big over there too.
Okay, and here we got a slide up, you get a wide range of cars, showing a Porsche here and a Corvette and various other cars. Here's the little Mustang, kind of looks like a drag car. A lot of these look like street cars. What's the idea behind here and the whole concept of the Red List group, and how does someone, you have to pre-enter to race, right?
Yeah, so with the Red List group and everything in the event, we have a range of cars, so anything under the sun can pretty much come and run. As long as it's, legal to run at NHRA track, you can come run at our events. We don't have any crazy specific type of classes that are broken down, so it's not like we have a bracket here, this and that. It's pretty much everyone gets to run against anyone you want to all night long. If you want to actually run against someone, you can. If you just want to run by yourself, you just want to line up against whoever and just run, you can. It's open lanes all night. The real thing is we go by a point system, and everyone who makes the pass gets a certain amount of points allotted to them each time. So it just depends all on your EP, your 60-foot, your reaction time, and also if you're quicker than the person next to you. So those get tallied up together. First, second, third place win prizes. And then we also have, for anyone who maybe doesn't want to run their car like a million passes during the day, and they only want to do a few, then we also have other awards that we can give away too for quickest EP, quickest domestic, quickest import, and so on.
Right, I saw that. Quickest, closest to 13.0 or something like that. So you got a wide variety of stuff where people basically get a little money back anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So just give everyone the opportunity, a chance to win something. So even you have a quickest reaction time. So just in case you have the slowest car out there and you're just you can't beat anything or you can't be quick at all, at least you can try for the quickest reaction time, because it doesn't matter how slow are your cars, and just how quick you can react to that light.
And Jesse's selling himself short here. He's a social media genius, by the way. This is Blake, Jesse. Social media, he's got it figured out, and he puts these things on, completely doing this on social media, and obviously his circle of friends and his different mixes he works with and all that. But and also he's designed like a spreadsheet that keeps track of all this. So there's nothing in the computer that we do other than we just spit out the runs, and he takes that spreadsheet and puts it into a computer and determines all these consistency runs and all that. So really pretty smart on his part to design this.
So, the point system, I developed it back in 2015, and it was funny because prior to the first event we did, like I would say maybe a few weeks prior to it, I didn't have a point system calculator, I would say, developed yet. Yeah. So one day I was like, you know what, I got to figure this out before this event happens. So I just sat down for about 3 or 4 hours straight and just banged my head in the wall the whole 3 or 4 hours until I figured it out. And then I just had it all calculated for long formulas, but each formula somehow miraculously works right, and it's been working till this day. I haven't had to do anything to it.
Yeah. No, it's really an easy. I mean, for us, it's easy. We just make the runs and just put a car number in, and then tear off the log sheet. We get a log sheet of all the runs up there, and then Jesse or his workers take it and put it in the system, and it's really.
So
cool.
I think it's I believe if I'm looking at the thing right, $1,000 to win via the point system, then, right?
Yeah. So $1,000 to win, and then at the end of the year, whoever has the most points total from all the events that year, they get a $3,000 bonus.
Yeah.
So pretty good deal. Do you limit the number of participants in the event?
Yeah. So originally the thought was to limit to 100, and we got to a point where it's more of kind of 100 to 130. Yeah. I really try to keep it closer to 100 if possible, but if it's around 110, 115, then that's a good amount. Once it starts getting to 125, 130, what ends up happening is it's sometimes just a few extra cars you have that happen to be the ones that will break. and then that really causes the whole like hold up sometimes. So if I can keep it down, then it's less cars that are going to break. Because it's really weird. Like if you have 100, then people get a million passes, and sometimes you have 115, just 15 more cars. All of a sudden it changes. You know, so it's that's why I try to keep the balance so that everyone gets. Because the big thing with my event that makes it different from a lot of events is I want people to be able to get a lot of runs in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know, however we can do it to make that work.
And what time does it get underway on Saturday?
So gates are going to be opening at 3 p.m. Racing's going to start at 6. It'll be a little bit warm at 6. The sun's still going to be out, but you know, sun will set, you know, within an hour and a half or so of that, and you know, it'll get a little bit cooler, and it'll be just a great, fun night.
And we're going until about midnight, right, Jesse?
Yep.
So yeah, it'd be nice, and, you know, evening, nice and cool, and we're good. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, Jesse, I want to thank you for calling in. We got about a minute left here, so thanks for calling in, and hopefully for some cooler weather a little bit by Saturday, and a successful event.
Yeah, definitely, and thank you so much for having me on the show, and everyone out there listening. Just head to Motor Raceway this weekend if you want to race, or if you just want to watch and see if you want to eventually start racing there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see you Saturday, Jesse.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Saturday.
Okay, so, good deal there. And then in 2 weeks, we got real quick, you're going to have the street tuners, and in between that, you're going to be going to Boise.
We are taking off Monday morning to Boise. We're up there. We're going to help them get the track prepped up, and we're actually taking part of our prep stuff with us. The back portion of our rotator, we're taking that with us. They're going to attach that to their tractor, and we're going to prep some racetrack.
Little nitro racing up there at Boise. So you'll be back. You'll be gone next week then.
Next week we will be in Boise. I can call in with a report.
We may
if you
do
want
that.
To. Might do that.
Okay.
That'd be good.
Thanks for listening to the Baco Motorsports Power Hour, and we will be back next week without Blake, but we'll be back.